Mondays at 5:05. Mondays with Meghan. Joining us now is Meghan McCain, the daughter of the late, great Senator John McCain. Meghan, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you? It just started storming outside, so if you hear that, that's what that is. I apologize.
This is good stuff.
She blames everything on the kids, usually.
That's right. All right, let's
Exactly.
start with the ridiculousness of this. Obama versus Trump. Third term.
Oh, God.
This is the dumbest. Listen, Trump said he's considering ways to serve a third term as president.
Yeah.
All right. First of all, half of me says, well, he's trolling people because that's what he does. But the other half of me says, oh, I got screwed in 2020.
Exactly.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run again, and everybody will be fine with it, and I'll trample the Constitution.
Why not?
This is
His
so
buddy Putin did it.
Wrong, Meghan. And if any Republican were to ever vote for him in an election where it would be a third term, maybe we should deport them.
Hear, hear.
Yeah, so I was really taken aback by that this weekend when he said that with Kristen Welker on NBC. And the thing it honestly made me think of is last year there was a movie by A24 called Civil War that came out. And I was actually sent a screener beforehand to review it as someone who, works in politics. And I found the movie wildly accurate to a hypothetical situation and very alarming, obviously. And the premise of the movie is basically that a president that I think is supposed to be a Trump-like figure enacts himself to a third term. And it's hazy how it happens, but it happens. And then it's 2 years into the future of the country completely torn apart. Yeah. How I have survived the past 10 years, just in general, is taking everything seriously. I take what Trump says seriously. I take what Democrats say seriously. I don't think anything is fake. I don't think anything is just for show because 75 to 85% of the time, what Trump says he does end up trying to do. I have friends who thought he wasn't going to try and buy Greenland. I said, nope, I think that's actually going to happen.
He's going to invade them. He's not going to buy it. He's going to invade it.
I mean, invade but I've heard both. So, whatever. We're going to acquire Greenland, which again, whatever.
Yes.
Not my top priority. So I find this very alarming. But honestly, I mean, Bruce and Gaydos, get in your little, hypothetical fantasy time machine. Can't you see morons like Lindsey Graham pushing for this?
Of
This
course.
can't really happen.
Oh, the cult members are the cult members
Yeah.
are lined up in favor of this.
Meghan, my question is, what would Republican voters do here? You talk to Republicans here all the time. Would they actually say, this is okay?
Screw the Constitution.
So I just need to make it clear to you guys. I went on TV on January 6th and said I thought things were going to be fine. So just keep my analysis for whatever you want. I am not always right. The thing that scares me, so this is one rumor that's just going around like wildfire all over DC. And again, I can't tell if this is just hypothetical fantasy draft pick simulation scenarios people are doing or if this is real life. What people are talking about is J.D. Vance running for president and making Trump his running mate.
Correct.
And
gosh.
again, to me, this is
Hold on. This is what happened in Russia. Hold on. This is not this is exactly what happened with Putin. He term limited out. Medvedev ran for president with Putin as his number 2.
And Putin took over.
And then Medvedev resigned and Putin took over and got rid of elections.
Look, it's really scary. The thing is, you're asking me, do I think voters will go for it? No. Do I think there's some sycophantic, yes, dear leader, people elected to the Senate and Congress that would do it? 100%.
Absolutely. Agreed.
And I think
I'm here for the revolution.
Run his campaign.
Can I tell you that
should be his third term one?
Meghan, I'm here for the military coup at this point. That's what I'm cheering for. I'm ready for the generals to take over. Let's do it when they violate the Constitution. By the way, Meghan, go ahead. I apologize.
No, I take it seriously. I think this is a scenario that could not, I don't think it's happening right this moment, but clearly someone's laying the groundwork some way if this is the A-block hot topic of our discussion today.
Right.
You know what I mean? This is something that is real. And I can't honestly believe that I'm living in a life where I have to even have this kind of conversation. It's really freaking scary. It really is.
Even to acknowledge it is just insane.
Well, then let's go to a happier topic, and I just want to wish you a happy tariff week for those that celebrate. That apparently we're going to be liberated from low prices on Wednesday as tariffs will go into effect. How excited is Washington, D.C. about tariffs, the most beautiful word in the English language?
Well, I don't know about Washington, D.C., but the rest of the country, the polling on President Trump and the faith in his handling of the economy has nosedived.
Yeah.
Right.
There were like 2 polls that came out, I believe NBC and CNN over the weekend, and it's really bad. People are losing faith that he can turn the economy around. I'm so far from being an economist. I have to have an accountant help me with everything I do in my personal life. I'm the last person to ask on how to like balance someone's budget.
Hear, hear.
But I will say that I do know that every conservative I've ever known my entire life is anti-tariff until 20 minutes ago.
Right.
So take that for whatever you want.
Well, and again, I only want to point out to you, I know you like to try to figure out exactly where I'm at consistency, which is no tariffs. I'm a free trade guy, always have been, always will be. Thankfully, I don't have to follow what dear leader says. Free trade for all.
Meghan McCain's joining us Mondays with Meghan. I think the thing that worries me is because I didn't trust Biden. I don't trust Donald Trump. I don't really trust any politician. I'm an independent. I can think for myself. I don't.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I see is that, it's like he is gambling with the economy. And what does that mean? He's gambling with our 401ks. He's gambling with what we have in the stock market. And I'm like you, Meghan. I'm not an economist. For all I know, this could work out great for America, and Trump will be right. And I'd love to say that he's right. I would love it. I just don't know. And so it just makes me very nervous because on Wednesday, I will tell you, the stock market is going to take a huge, massive crap.
Well, that's what I was just about to say is like you don't have to be an economist to know when the stock market is nosediving that's a bad sign for everyone.
Yeah.
And I think for me, this may sound like sort of trite, so just take this for whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
I legitimately expected like grocery prices to get better when Trump came into office because, like, again, I know that like free markets can mirror like who they have faith in leadership and who's running the economy. And for me, like things really aren't getting better. I don't feel really any difference in anything. And anybody who in any scenario who just like lives on any kind of budget, you see the difference between this year and 4 years ago or 3 years ago. And that doesn't mean that Biden didn't exacerbate things. Of course he did. But Trump said he was going to change this on day one. Now we're three and a half months into his administration.
You got to give him a couple of years, Meghan. Come on. You can't expect change like that.
I mean,
we literally had people on with us last week, that said, it's going to take a couple of years. And I go, because the American public is notoriously patient when it comes to things like that. Yeah, of their prices going up.
They're not going to be patient with that.
No, absolutely not.
Meghan McCain is joining us Mondays with Meghan. You know that whole tech snafu thingy that went for a couple of weeks?
Whiskey leaks.
Is that over? Are we done with that? Nobody gets fired?
No.
It's all fine. We're just going to move on?
It's funny, I was just talking about this just like an hour ago, and I think there's all these reports in the Wall Street Journal and the Washington Post about how Mike Waltz basically got his, handed to him this weekend because of his, adding a Jeffrey Goldberg onto the Signal chat. I do think that there are going to be ramifications. I just don't think it's going to happen right now. I don't think Mike Waltz is long for this world. I think that he will get fired sooner versus later.
Okay, you didn't mean he was dying. That's good. He's not long for this world. Just long for this job.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm long for the job. Long for the world of the administration. No, I mean as far as I know, he's healthy.
He's healthy. He's going to live a long, healthy life.
Yes. I mean, long for the DC, the administration. But I do think there's got to be a scalp in this situation. And I know that, the administration doesn't want it to be in this moment because they don't want it to be like they felt pressure from the media and like cowed to them. But I think that somebody is going to get fired in the not distant future over this.
I don't know if you you saw the reporter who was added to this chat, Jeffrey Goldberg. He was asked over the weekend, and I can't remember what show he was on. And I really liked his response because they were saying, well, Walt said that maybe, something hacked and had put his number in his phone. And I might screw the quote up, but Goldberg said, my number is in his phone because my number is in his phone.
I know.
As in,
it's really bad.
He's been a source, is what I read that. He's been a source for stories that Goldberg has read. My number's in his phone because my number is in his phone,
Interesting.
I mean, nobody hacked your phone and put. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like finding your man cheating and being like, "Why is her number on the phone?" He's like, "I don't know. It just flew in there. Like, I don't know how it got there, whatever." Like,
Her number
no
just
one
showed up.
believes that.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's-
and also for me, like when in doubt, when you're trying to analyze a political situation, just go with Occam's razor and what's the simplest answer.
Yeah.
Simplest answer is he's probably more than likely been leaking to Jeffrey Goldberg, and that's why it came up in your phone. I do know, and I'm sure you guys know this too, like people you text often, their number pops up more easily. Like if you
Yes.
type in like a K and you're like talking to your friend Catherine all the time, that will pop up first. So I do think they have a relationship. And Jeffrey Goldberg, in so many words, said that on NBC this weekend. He was like, "Yeah, I'm in his phone because I'm in his phone."
Right.
And I just think that they should stop lying.
Yeah.
Because it's not, nobody believes it. And it's not helping
No.
anything.
Well, some people believe the lies, but they believe anything they say. Meghan, I appreciate it. Heck, you know what? When I type M into my phone, Meghan comes up.
You don't have her number. Only I have
Okay,
her
I
number.
don't have her number. I'm not
You
allowed
can
to
have
talk
my
to you.
number.
There you go,
Anybody, you can
Meghan.
have my number.
God love you. All right, Meghan McCain. Mondays with Meghan. We appreciate your time. Good luck with the storms
your
there in
time.
D.C., all right?
Thanks, Megan.
Thank you so much. I always appreciate it. Thank you for having me on every week. My brother told me, he's like, every time I turn on the radio, you're on Bruce and Gaydos. I was like, it's not every day. It's just on Mondays. I don't know what you're talking about, but thank you.
Yes. Well, all the McCains listen. We got them coming from every angle. We appreciate it. Thank you so
You know,
much
there's
again.
like 500 of us.
No,
so
there
I'm
is.
sure
There's
at
a lot
some
of you.
point.
Yeah. There
See you
is a
later,
lot.
Megan. All right, Mondays with
Bye.
Megan.
Thanks for watching Outspoken with Bruce and Gaydos. Tap to watch more from KTAR News and click the button in the middle to subscribe.